beautiful, lovely internet friends. Welcome back to my channel. What I'm going to share with you today, I have debated putting on the internet for quite some time, but because it was such an amazing experience for me, I wanted to share it, talk about what the process was actually like and what it did for me kind of mentally and emotionally. I did a boudoir shoot. Boudoir? I actually don't know how to say it, but I did one with a very specific purpose in mind. When it came to my mobility aids, specifically my wheelchair, specifically being seen in like close interpersonal experiences without my prosthetic leg on, there are moments that I still struggle with that, specifically with my wheelchair. And a few months ago, I received a text from a local photography studio that had a Christmas special going on, and I reached out to them and was like, hey, can we do one with like all of my mobility aids as an exercise in embracing the skin I'm in and the tools that I use and all of that. And when I say that it was really a healing and amazing experience, gosh darn it, it really was. So I wanted to take you with me today. To make it real clear, I will be fully clothed in everything that you see today. But I wanted to show you what this experience was like, talk about the impact, because if something like this could help you and I can show you what the process actually looked like, fantastic. And I got the first 5 photos back yesterday and I just absolutely loved them. So I'm going to show you guys those at the end. We're going to dive into the shoot, the whole process. But first, a quick word from our sponsor, then we shall jump back in time to being on set a few weeks ago. A big thank you to our sponsor, The Green Chef, which I am currently enjoying. And yes, I know it's past Christmas, and no, I don't care. Green Chef is a CCOF certified organic company and has options for every kind of lifestyle: keto, paleo, vegan, vegetarian, Mediterranean, fast and fit, and gluten-free. There are meal kits that are delivered weekly and help you spice up your weeknight cooking, and delicious dinners week after week with step-by-step recipes and pre-measured premium ingredients that save you time. I personally absolutely love using Green Chef. I am woefully inexperienced as a cook in the kitchen, and following their recipe cards is super easy. The food always turns out amazing despite my lack of natural talent. Green Chef introduces you to new ingredients and flavorful dishes that support a healthy lifestyle. Their flavors are inspired by international cuisines and use farm-fresh ingredients like figs, dates, and artichokes. So I actually made one of their burgers for today's lunch. Absolutely 10 out of 10, would recommend. If you are interested in trying Green Chef's meal kits, you can use my code Footless60 and get 60% off and free shipping. So go to greenchef.com for more details. I'm an absolute sucker for a good burger, and that is a gosh darn good burger. All right, let's head into the fun stuff. So I use a wheelchair, I use a prosthetic leg, I use crutches, I use a walking crutch, all kinds of things to get about the world. But this wheelchair, using a chair in particular, is something that was really uncomfortable to me. And honestly, in some ways, still is. I received this as a gift from my friend Annika. She had an extra one when she got a new one and knew that I needed the help. So I got it, but it was really hard for me to want to use because of ableism, because of feeling like this was a defeat. Like I would never think of anyone else as less, ever, for using a wheelchair, but me doing it, I felt icky about it. I didn't like the way that I thought about it. And so I wanted to try to find ways to incorporate it into just me and kind of normalize it. And so doing a fun, sexy, just like for me and only me photo shoot that I then decided to share with all of you guys as well was a fantastic way of doing that. All right, enough talk. Let's go to the day of. My dear friend Shaylee came with me to hold the camera and also emotionally hold my hand, because whether or not I look it, I was hella nervous walking in here. The photographer was James TARVER here in Colorado Springs. I'll link his information down below. He and his wife do this together. They have an incredible studio. He does all the artistic stuff and the photography, and she'll do a lot of the posing and the more hands-on stuff, so it made for an incredibly comfortable, just fun environment. Also, I felt like an absolute princess. I was brought champagne all day and snacks. We started off with hair and makeup. For photography, it's important that you go a little bit more dramatic than you might normally do. So looking at myself here, I was like, okay, that's a lot of makeup, but I'm gonna trust the process. And I'm really glad that I did. We probably shot photos, honestly, probably 3 or 4 hours with kind of an hour break there. I have done some very basic modeling stuff, but this was a whole different ballgame. Also, holding some of these poses was a friggin' workout. And it's also so funny how poses that seem so unnatural and just feel weird on your body and you feel awkward and like there's no way you could possibly look good actually turn out looking really amazing on film, which is why we listen to the experts and let them do their thing. So we decided to do a variety of different looks. I also got to play around with this super fancy robe. Like, look at this. I feel like an absolute goddess. Taking photos in this context, in kind of a more intimate context, I really struggle with having my leg off fully. around even friends or like in any kind of romantic context, right? It is a point of insecurity for me and I can get past it, but it definitely pops back up. And so it was important for me to sort of face that fear with this shoot and have a number of photos and poses where I did not have my leg on at all. And that was uncomfortable, but really, really good to face and felt amazing. And the result was amazing. One of the really cool things about doing this kind of photography is you see yourself in a light that you don't normally see yourself in. Being raised in a very conservative Christian upbringing where sex was like the devil, anything sexual or suggestive made you an impure, bad person, and carrying a lot of that shame with me throughout my entire adult life, like to current date, doing something that felt outside of my comfort zone, but actually was entirely safe. Something like this that I wanted to do that was about embracing my body and like feeling hot and sexy, right? Like I feel weird saying that on camera, but it's fun to feel that way. It's fun to see yourself as desirable. Even if it's just that passing thought of like, I can look like that, like that's really cool. And when I was talking to James and Christy about sort of my feelings about that, they said that pretty much everyone who comes in the studio has that same response. Like there are a lot of people who this is so very not comfortable for them, who really struggle with body image, who do not love the skin that they are in. And unfortunately that is true for so many of us living in the society that we live in. But then going through this process, you start seeing yourself a little bit differently. You start getting a little bit more comfortable. And that was definitely my experience throughout the day. At the beginning, I was terrified. And by the middle of the day, I was like, let's do it, guys. Next outfit. And it was super fun. Specifically doing this to embrace my body as it is, with a leg, without a leg, in a chair, whatever it might be, was genuinely one of the most empowering experiences of my life. I'm so grateful that I had the opportunity to do this. And drum roll, please. Here are some of the finished photos. I am still waiting on quite a few more, most of which I will have for my eyes only. But these are some that I really love and really helped me to feel more comfortable in my own skin and really own it. If this is something you've ever been interested in, whoever you are, wherever you might find yourself, you get the opportunity one day, I would highly recommend it. If you're in the Colorado area or want to fly here specifically for this, the photographer did not sponsor this video. This was something I paid for with my own money, but I just love the experience, so please check them out. What he does as an artist and what they do as a team is absolutely amazing. Also, side note, I had never put on fake eyelashes in my entire life, and I had a meeting like immediately after that I had to run to, so I had to like take them off in the car, and I was afraid that I was gonna rip my eyelid off. Great news for all of us. That did not happen and they came off just fine. Fear overcome. Huge thank you to my friend Shaylee for coming with me to set. She also has a YouTube channel, Instagram page, which you can check out down below. And is a doll, I adore her. A big thank you again to Green Chef for sponsoring this video. To my beautiful and amazing patrons, thank you for your continued partnership, sponsorship of what I'm doing here. And most importantly to you, watching this video right here. Thank you so much for spending a few minutes out of your day here with me today. You might be anywhere else in the world doing anything else, and you chose to hang out with me and kind of share in some of this joy and watch this process, and I really appreciate that. I love you guys. I'm thinking about you, and I'll see you in the next video. Mwah. Also, quick side note, do I look like Uncle Jesse from Open House? I used to work as a real estate agent. I meant Full House. Because if I do, that's all I've ever been trying to be. I really think that like rocking biker chic is my new aesthetic. I'm just gonna completely, really just embrace this jacket as my whole new personality. What do we think, guys? I think it's a good idea. Bye.